You too. What's going on, man? It's your boy Xerxes coming back at you with another one. This is going to be pretty much like a week one update for the Frostblades Warden in the Settlers of Calgary League. So we've made some pretty serious improvements to the build in the last couple of days. So I wanted to kind of go over what those have been and then show you what this build looks like in its current form. We're no longer using the claw that we were using before. We have a pure fizz and cold claw now, which is really nice. So we're able to drop anger, put hatred on, and make some other changes. So just want to show you guys, I am level 97 right now. Solo self-found, by the way. I have done 130 of 132 of the Atlas points. The only thing I need to do is the Breach Invitation and the Feared. As you can see, I have 115 of 115 of my maps done, and I have all 4 Void Stones, which I've done on my own. No paying for anyone to do it. None of that shenanigans. This build has done it all, and it's done it all on a solo self-found environment, which is crazy. A lot of people have been coming into people's chats. You know, I'm in Zish's Twitch chat a lot, and they're saying, "Oh, the build feels squishy." Part of it is just the way that you play the build, I think. I've been playing Frostblades for a while now, so I understand that you can't just... It's not like a typical melee skill where you can just stand there and attack forever. You got to like stick and move, right? So what I'm going to try and do is show you guys, you know, like you've obviously seen a bunch of maps, but I'll show you kind of how it goes in a strand map. This is going to be, I'm going to do a Maven Witnessed destructive play Al Hasman map, so you guys can see that what it looks like on a little bit juicier of a tree here. So we got Maven, we got destructive play, El Hasmin strand. Let's go. Kind of what I've been doing lately was just I've been doing a lot of Abyss farming, just because Abyss is really good for XP. So I pretty much all day yesterday I just blasted from 96 to 97, and then I've already gotten, you know, about a fifth of the way there to the next level too. So just focusing on getting levels after I got my last Void Stone. That's kind of all I've been doing so far. I want to get to 98, and then I'm going to start pushing on some harder content. But for now, we'll go through here and just kind of show you what the build looks like in its current state. This build is an absolute juicer when it comes to mapping, dude. It just feels so good and so snappy. One thing that I've noticed is that you really we miss some attack speed from before, and so getting attack speed anywhere we can is really nice, right? Because we missed the attack speed from the suffixes on the Flask, and during mapping you can use your tincture if you want, because I rolled attack speed on my tincture. But the thing that you'll run into every once in a while is when your mana burn pops off, you have like a split second there where you're kind of vulnerable, and if you can't attack anything, you're going to swing and hit the air for a minute, and that can kill you. So getting attack speed on gear to make up for the attack speed loss that we had like on a perma Flask is really nice. So that's one thing that I've done. I got attack speed on my gloves, and I got attack speed on my shield, and the build just feels way better having a little bit more attack speed. I'll go over all the changes and everything after we run this map. Yeah, as you can see, like it's pretty much just click once every once in a while, come up on an essence, you can pop your avatar, and everything just pretty much melts. Still on the hunt for a heat shiver, man. That's our build is gonna like go into the stratosphere once we get a heat shiver. I'll kind of show you guys what I'm cooking up, or what I already have cooked up for after I find it too, because it's pretty nice. So all right, so that was a strand map done. I shouldn't have burned everything, I guess, on these guys, but whatever. Any other homies around here? No. Okay, so that's that. We'll pop a portal here. We will have our avatar up and all of our flashes and everything, so this guy should die pretty quick. And that's that. So that was a El Hasman in about, what, 4 or 5 seconds maybe? Something like that. without Vol Lightning Strike 2, which would have been like probably a couple more million DPS. So hope that was a good showcase of what the build is capable of doing. Let's go back and show you what the changes have been that I've made so far. So like I said, I was able to switch off the claw that I was using before. The claw that I had before was pretty much triple Ellie. I think I had fire, cold, and lightning damage to it with crit and attack speed. What I did was I just used Shrieking Essences of Hatred on this. Ideally, you would want this flat fizz to be much higher, but I can't tell you how many essences I used and just got nothing. And so once I finally got something that was decent for a multi-mod, I just multi-modded it with increased fizz and attack speed and called that good. And then I threw on the increased fizz thing from the League mechanic on there. So this is a, let's see here, what is this? This is a 534 DPS claw, which is pretty nice. So this was definitely a huge upgrade. What else have I changed? I changed around some of the links. So before I was running precision on arrogance, and I wanted a couple more free gems. So what because I looked at my POB and I actually didn't need the accuracy or the crit. So it was just 2 wasted gem sockets. So don't be like me. Don't make that mistake. Don't overcap your accuracy. If you're 100% hit capped, you don't need it, right? And crit cap too, which I am. So it was silly of me to be doing that. Just an oversight on my part. But what I did was I got rid of precision arrogance. I put bone chill on frostblink, which should have been there the whole time, but I just didn't have the links for it, or so I thought, but I actually did. So make sure that you have bone chill on frostblink. And then everything else is the same. Steel Skin and Automation are still there. And then Herald of Ice and Hatred are there. And then what I did was I switched up my Vol Lightning Strike to have Culling Strike on it. So this is just a huge more damage, right? It's pretty much 10% more damage. So this is the setup that I like to run on here. If you don't put Culling Strike on your Vol Lightning Strike, you're going to want it maybe on Frostblink or Whirling Blades or something like that. So that covers the gems that I've changed. The other thing, like I said, was once I switched from a Tri-Ellie Claw to a pure Fizz and Cold Claw, I no longer needed or no longer wanted to use Anger. So I'm using Hatred now. And then the one thing that you have to do if you're running this setup until you get a Heat Shiver is you have to swap in a Cold to Fire support. So as you can see here, my fire and my cold damage are able to overlap. Therefore, I proc Trinity still. That's very important. And then since I don't have flat lightning on my claw anymore, I needed to get just a little bit somewhere. So I crafted some. This amulet sucks, but I crafted some on here, just enough for me to proc shocks on the enemy. So that's what this added lightning damage is doing here. And I found another taming. And so I have a 30% and 35 here. And then this is a 29% and 35. So pretty like decent rolls on the tamings there. And everything else I think is the same. A lot of my gear is pretty scuffed right now. These tamings are actually kind of like fixing a lot of my issues. That and like these 2 pieces and this amulet are kind of just like fixing everything that I need with resistances and stats right now. So what I'm going to be doing from here on out is I think I'm going to be farming a lot of harvest. That's what it's called, to get some yellow juice. And I'm just going to like reforge chaos on everything that I can and try and get like, you know, double res and all the other prefixes and shit that I need, because the one time that I've died in the last, I think 2 days was to something that just absolutely obliterated me with poisons and stuff. And I just melted like instantly. So I have negative 28 chaos res. It's super scuffed. If I ever run anything that's like kind of hard poison or chaos damage content, I will switch the Pantheons over, and I need to get these with the Divine Vessels too. So that's something that I'm going to do. But in terms of where I'm going to be going with this, I'm going to be looking for chaos res to at least get to like 50%. I think would make me feel much more comfy, right? So 50% with capped all the other ones, cap suppression, and avoid ailments. It's tough to get, but that's what the goal is going to be. So that's what the plan is moving forward. Once I get a Heat Shiver, I have this chest that's actually pretty sick, right? So this is the new base, the Syndicate's Garb. This has evasion, res, suppress, and actually reduced attribute requirements, which for right now I'm gonna keep on there just because I'm not gonna have enough decks if I don't have that. But ideally, you might want to use a base that's 1 or 2 tiers below this, honestly, just because the dex requirement on these new bases is pretty crazy. So that's something to keep in mind. You're going to have to get dex on somewhere on your gear or the tree if you want to use one of these things. So I have this, and then I also have this, which I'm going to need to annul off that max chaos res, right? Because these both have 19% suppress on them. So between these two, I'll be at 38, which is what you need on your gear in order to be suppress capped without any other suppress on your gear. So right now, this 11% suppress is what's carrying me. So if I get a heat shiver, it's going to be scuffed, right? So that's why you're looking for 19 and 19. So that's what the plan is anyway. Going to throw on some chaos res on the gear when I can get some new pieces, and then hopefully level up to 98, and then we're going to start doing some tough content. But for right now, we're just going to be probably cruising through doing some harvest and maybe some destructive play and see if we can get a heat shiver to drop. If anyone has had a heat shiver drop or knows a good way to get a heat shiver to drop, drop a comment down below. I'm doing everything I can to try and make, rarity go up and quantity and all that stuff. But so far, no luck. I know it's not, it's like 1 week into the league, it's tough and solo self-found. But other than chancing a leather hood, which I've done a few times, but that's really all I have going on right now. So if you guys know of a way to get one or any tips or tricks, let me know. With that, I didn't really talk about how much DPS the build has. The build right now, I will include the POB down below. So the build in its current state has 18.4 million DPS. Now that's with everything like lining up perfectly. And I didn't scuff the numbers too bad. I put, let's see, what did I put in here? I put 30 shock stacks, so like you can get up to 50, right? So it's tough to get up to 50, so I put 30, and then I put 25 effective scorch, which I'm probably hitting 30% scorches right now anyway, but just didn't want to overinflate the numbers, so I think that's pretty fair. The one thing that I added in there as well is the effect from rage that we get from our Vol Lightning Strike. The max is 30 rage. You're not going to have that all the time, and so what I did was I put in an average of 15 because it just gives you more attack damage. So in the config, I put in 15% more attack damage. So if anyone wonders, it does say in there effects from rage, so you'll understand. But just in case anyone doesn't get why I put in that, that's from having rage on the VLS. So 18.4 million. I think the last time we were at like 12 or something like that. And so we've made some significant increases, and I look forward to making some more. Once we get a heat shiver, it's going to go up to like 24, 25 mil. So I'm stoked for that. And I'm going to leave the video there, guys. As always, drop a like, drop a comment, and then I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.